All right, let's keep the card discussion rolling with a whole bunch of Gate Ruler Set 5 spoilers. Now, it isn't the full set, and unfortunately, it's not on Gate Realize either, but we do have the cards. We can go through them and just generally talk about them because I'm excited as hell for Gate Ruler Set 5. So, the first guy we got up here, Ray of Twin Swords, and first card I'm reading, and I'm already liking him. So, 0 cost, Volnar, 3/2/1, Warrior, and Reagan. So enhance warrior. So when he enters play, you can take another warrior and put it into his charge shield. So Gale, if he has charge shields, get double attack. I mean, double attack on a 3 attack body, not that bad. But what I really like is this Mind's Eye. So when it enters play through Sigrun, you can DR4, look at your opponent's hand and discard a card from it. Now, I love Thoughtseize style effects, and I thought that the Sigrun mechanic was like pretty underwhelming and not really supported all that much. So this guy seems like pretty perfect support for that deck already. It's a common. Speaking of Dragon Leaf, we got Shreddy, 1 drop, 2/2/1, Wonderverse Superhero Violent, Dragon Leaf. Seems like some pretty solid Genesis summoning support. You can put it in another Dragon Leaf to grab a dragon or Dragon Leaf, but you can also DR3 to like get some material from your grave, and you get to use their Sigrun ability. So we can see that Gate Ruler is definitely increasing the number of effects that you're going to be activating or like getting off at the same time. So normally this would be like, hey, play a dude from your drop zone and then you don't get anything. But now we have the extra step of like, now you get to play the dude and you get the dude's effect. So it's a minor bit of power creep to notice, but it's not necessarily power creep, and more Gate Ruler becoming the game it's supposed to be. I also really like this too. I really like damage manipulation in this game, so that's very neat to me. My buddy also spoiled this card for me too, because this card represents the evolution of an old card that we really like, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So this is Space Racer 11, Wonderverse, level 1, 3/3/1, Owl Supernatural Darkness Racer. Yeah, you're going to see that there's a racing theme going on in this set, and I'm probably going to talk about it more because I'm probably going to be playing it. So TD, Ultimate Future Sight. Name a card. Reveal the top card of your deck. If it's the card you named and it's of level 3 or lower, play it without paying its cost. Otherwise, return it back and shuffle your deck. So, this is an evolution of an old card that we lovingly nicknamed Kitty. Now, my buddy had a deck that tried to spam Kitty over and over again. Just flicker him, play more copies of him, just to keep casting spells off the top of your deck, dig through your entire deck, cast a bunch of burn spells, win. Now, is that going to be exactly possible in Gate Ruler starting off without? I don't know, but this is the same style of effect, but you have to name the top card of your deck, so that creates an interesting extra step and like an extra, deck building limitation. So I'm very excited to see what he's going to do with this. Ooh, I like this too. Yato no Kami. So you imagine level 1, 3/3/2, Supernatural Demon Lord. Selection and Separation. So twice per turn. As a main phase, you can damage reverse 2 and sack another dude you have in play to either draw 1 or drive 1. Ooh, I'm gonna get up to some shenanigans with that. Alright, got some more 100 Yokai March support. My buddy will be happy. He really likes this deck. Emergency Deployment. Atlas 0 cost spell Tactics. CNT to add it to your hand, which is like already everything about this card is great. But as a standard action, normal summon up to 2 units with their combined levels equal to 1 or less from your hand without paying costs and without spending summon caps. Yeah, military aggro is going to be disgusting. Ooh, I like this guy too. I really like all these special summoning type guys. So I don't know if he's going to be very useful because they're kind of losing their effectiveness and he doesn't do a whole lot besides special summon himself. But I'll be interested to try him out. Ooh, okay. I think these are the last couple of cards I spoiled, but it's like this and then the big X Vader of this set were spoiled for me because I love X Vaders. So Black Moon, Excavator, size 2, 261, Virus Object Darkness, CNT Hazy Moonlight. You may choose and destroy one card in play of level 2 or less. If you do, deal 1 damage to yourself. That's great. I mean, removal on a CNT is perfectly fine, and honestly, taking another damage isn't always the downside that it appears to be, so I don't mind that. Hazy Birth, once per turn, instant. Put 3 of your charges on the bottom of its owner's deck, and that's charges from any card, which is very good. To special summon 1 non-legendary Excavator unit from your deck. So just 3 charges once per turn is any dude from your deck. I love it. And then damage dealt to you by your Excavator cards becomes 0. So, hey, if you got one of this guy on field, then that part actually doesn't matter to you. Oh, look at this big son of a bitch. Look at how pretty this motherfucker is. Alright, first off, I should say that I already love this art from Force of Will. Like, Dozen is one of, if not maybe my favorite artists that's currently active. So getting this piece again is like fantastic, and getting it as an excavator is like so good. Now let's actually talk about the card. So first off, yeah, you can see that there's a big 5 in the corner. Kind of interesting, considering that it's a pretty normal 5, but last set, or the last couple of sets, when we got level 4s, they had like a very special symbol, so kind of interested in figuring out what the difference between a normal 5 and a special 4 is, or lore-wise, if anything. But he's a level 5, 993, Deathshade Virus Dragon Light. I think Deathshade is the only keyword there that matters. Discount, you may put 2 cards from your hand on the bottom of your deck to instead pay 2 to play it. Seems like a natural evolution from the 4s, because the 4s wanted you to put 1 card, so the 5 wants you to put 2. That's fair enough. When you summon this from your hand, reduce its cost by 1 for each Excavator unit you have in play. So hey, if you're using the new 5-zone leader and you have all 5 filled up, you can throw this guy out for free. Provided they're all Excavators, of course. But I think the intention here is to put 2 cards back to reduce the cost to 2, and then you presumably have 2 guys on the field, which reduces it by a further 2, and then you play him for free. He does have Retaliate. You know, they like to sneak their keywords very small in there, but that's pretty important. Ig Collect Rare. When this destroys an enemy unit with combat damage, put that unit into this card's charge. And I really like this part. Reminder text, including with Retaliate. Hey, yeah, that's nice. Just reminding you that these 2 things do work together. Doesn't take up much space, and it's a good reminder. Rays of Infinite Fun. Turn 1, instant action. Put 1 or more of your card's charges on the bottom of its owner's deck. So once again, you can put the charges from wherever. Doesn't have to be this guy. Destroy any number of cards in play with total level equal to the number of cards sent to the bottom of the decks. So he's a big boss monster, plays himself for cheap, possibly free, has a huge booty to sit in the center and block hits for days, and then is also a board wipe, instant speed whenever you want it. Yeah, this is the exact Excavator card I've wanted from set 1. Thank you. Ooh, alright, Twin Tongue. Another Kaiju. Nice. And I guess this is the Excavator mechanic, is that Ig Collect. So, on attack, when you kill something, that card will go into the Ig Collector's charges. And it even further specifies that if the thing you kill uses Charge Shield, then you will gain it to the charge. So I wonder if... I could be misinterpreting this, but I wonder if that means if you take their charge and add it as yours, or if you ignore Charge Shield with this effect. I don't know, I have to look into that. Oh, look how fucking pretty that is. God damn. And it's a good card? Oh my god. Yo, is Excavator finally getting enough cards to be playable? I mean, more cards that go for it, so fuck, maybe. Oh shit, dude. Man. She was one of the character arts, and I still haven't picked up a copy of that character art, and I really want that. Oh, fuck. This is a really dope removal spell, too. Huh. At first, this seems like it might not actually be that good, but I mean, all of your units getting +3 as an instant for one? It's not actually that bad. Especially against something like a Lucifer when they just kind of board wipe you and you're like, nah. Hmm. Well, this is going to go into my concealment deck, I'm pretty sure. I mean, 5 HP on a 1-drop with ignoring effect damage. Alright, so we got a new version of the Crimernauts big boy. So Space Racer, Malevolous Prime, Woniverse, 2-drop, 4/5/2. Willpower Crimernauts Racer. Standard action, put one card you have in play or one Racer or Crimernauts from your other card's charge into this card's charge. Now, this is kind of like what the Racer mechanic is going for this set, it seems, is that they want to put charges into their dudes and into some field spells we're going to see later on, and then shuffle them around for effects. So, Devastator Beam, instant action, put one of this unit's charges on the bottom of its owner's deck. Choose one enemy unit and deal 2 damage to it. Straightforward. Good removal. Final lap, once per turn. When this deals damage to your opponent, if you have another Racer unit in play and you have an empty attack zone, drive 1. Alright, so some multi-attacks, some extra damage, some free playing cards. And this unit cannot gain charge shield. Alright, kind of expect that. Seems like a solid boss monster. I'm not sure how much it works with the Crimernauts stuff, but it feels like he's still a good enough card that will probably work in the Crimernauts deck, right? Oh, hell yeah. We have another version of her. Road Obstruction, turn 1, standard action, rest any number of allied units. Deal damage to your opponent equal to the number of units rested with this ability. If there was a Racer or Space Peeps among them, choose one or more enemy units and distribute damage among them equal to the number of units rested with this ability. You cannot move allied units during the turn you use this ability. This is a fucking cool card. I mean, first off, that's funny. That's just like a cute little line of text, right? Uh, but man, just turning your entire board into like burn spells, so you don't even have to worry about attacking into people. That's pretty fucking cool. Oh boy, another one over CNT deal damage to your opponent. Have we already hit critical mass of all 16 dealing damage to your opponent? Because I feel like if we're not there, then we're there now. Yo, fucking same, dude. Tell me about it. But hell, I love special summoning from the damage zone. Yeah, this is a great card. Oh my god, I'm gonna need this. Man, I'm gonna need this for the Racer deck and for my Minotaur's deck. Alright, so here we have the first checkpoint, so let's talk about it. So Shark Zone, Woniverse, size 0, Shark, Sightseeing. Sightseeing makes me think of that one other sightseeing card we had from last set, so maybe there's some something there. So CNT, choose one. You can put it to your field zone or turn up to 2 face down cards in your damage zone face up. Inside a shark's belly, when a Racer in your attack zone is destroyed by your opponent, you can put it into this card's charge. Escape, once per turn. When a Racer in your attack zone is destroyed by your opponent, you can put one of this card's charges to the graveyard to special summon one Racer from this card's charge. Okay, so you need 2 guys to die so that you can have 2 in here so that when another one is dead or gets killed, you can sack one charge to then special another charge. So it's like a 3-for-1 recycling factory sort of thing. But it's cool, I like that. Allied Shark cards gain +1 attack and breakthrough. Sick, I want to make the Shark deck work. So charges under this cannot be moved to anywhere else except through abilities and effects of checkpoint or racer cards. Yeah, they basically had to do this, especially with, exactly because they have so much Excavator stuff that is interacting with charges in the same set. Mixing these two together would have probably led to some very broken stuff. Alright, so this is like the key card of this deck, and it's pretty nutty. It's a 4-star, so that makes sense. So Space Race, Woniverse Event, level 1, Willpower, another sightseeing card. CNT, you get to set it, and as a standard action, you can check the top 5 and special summon any number of Racers with a total level of 3 and then put the rest on the bottom of your deck. And at the end of the main phase, you put the units special summon with this effect on the bottom of your deck, or you can put them into charge of a checkpoint. So you pay 1 to check top 5 to special summon any number of dudes so long as you don't go above a total level of 3. So this, in the right deck, can just be like 1 mana summon 4 dudes. Then like, yeah, you get them, you lose them at the end of the turn, but between that like one trick we showed who can rest them all to deal damage to your opponent, between Genesis summoning, between this, that, and the other thing, I feel like this is a pretty crazy effect. And then it has a second effect too. I got my eyes on this card. Oh, cool. So we got another 1-drop who can play martial skills from your drop. That's cool. My buddy really likes the martial skill deck, but it really needs more of these can cast from grave effects. Well, I guess they're giving an entire suite of stuff for this. So there's this Poetica this guy's related to and also does martial skill things, so this guy looks like a cool special summoner for Genesis summoning. Flowly of Love, Volnar size 0, 2/2/1, Poetica, a mage. So this is the person the rest of them want to absorb. So CNT, you can special it to an attack zone, deploy so it doesn't spend summon cap. I have thoughts about that. Connect. As a standard action, you may put this card into another unit's charge that doesn't have charge shield. Alright, cool. So this is kind of like the inverse of enhance, right? Charge enhance warrior. So specified unit that has this charge as its charge loses charge shield if it has 2 or more charges. Also, it gains the following ability. When you would be dealt damage, you may put one of this card's charges to the graveyard to reduce that damage by 1. Alright. So if this card is inside a specific keyword, so in her case a warrior, that card or that unit will lose charge shield if it has 2 or more charges, but you can sack a charge to reduce damage by 1. It's pretty cool. It's a built-in defense spell and very buddy fight. Very buddy fight. Yeah, I can hear my buddy just losing his mind over all of these cards. Oh, yeah. And then my other buddy's really happy about this card. I mean, hell, there's a series of these, I think. Like aggressive 0-drop spells on this set. So Guild of Adventurers Wonderverse branch. So event Wonderverse 0 Sightseeing can be played directly from your hand, and you get to choose one. Assist to escape. Instant action, choose one allied unit without legend and CNT and put it on top of your deck. I mean, that immediately has some interaction with that Levin, who could play cards from the top of your deck. So that seems like exactly what that was meant to go with. Honorary Member. Instant action. When your opponent plays an ability to remove cards in your graveyard from the game, or to send your charges to the graveyard, negate that ability and deal 1 damage to your opponent. We're getting some like specific sideboard counterspell stuff. So some silver bullet type cards. And I gotta say I'm not against this. I actually really like this idea, because if you're going to have an effect, you should probably include a counter to that effect somewhere in your card game. And this feels like it's not so aggressive that if you're a deck that really wants to remove cards from your graveyard or remove charges, you'll still be able to do that. Notice of Withdrawal. Standard action, put 2 cards of level 0 or 1 from your deck to the graveyard. Foolish Burial? Is that Foolish Burial? I like Foolish Burial. Person of People, Human. Unit, Wonderverse, 1/1/1/1/1/1/1. Superhero. Person is a someone who helps people. Turn 1. When you use TD or OD ability, you may use that ability twice by doing DR equal to that card's level plus 1. Yeah, I love doubling up effects, like Enter the Battlefield effects, Anthem effects, etc. So this card's awesome, great. I can't wait to see how people abuse the shit out of it. But it does have a second ability. I Need a Human. Standard action, DR1, Person of People, Human. Special summon this from your damage zone. So if they ever end up clogging, or if you do shenanigans to specifically place them there, Then you can summon them back out. Sick. It's a great card. Love this card. Wonderverse continues to be like the best. And then they made a 0 cost spell that special summons military and robotic from the top of your deck. Oh my god, this is gonna be a fucking fun set, dude. Holy shit. That's pretty just that's straightforward. And that's an incantation too. That card is actually not that bad. Alright. And we have some slight continuing support for the Draconid Dreadnought archetype. Ooh, cool. A new big deity to summon. I do like the deity summoning stuff. Shinmei, the Divine Ruler of Sun. So Yamajin unit 3/4/2/3. Deity incantation. CNT, drive this or add it to your hand. Very cool. Alright. Judgment of Heaven and Earth. Once per turn, standard action, DR2, draw 1 card. Okay, I'm just going to draw an extra card. Alright. Bright Light. Instant action, discard 1 card. Choose 1 enemy unit of level 1 or less and exhaust it. Alright, sick. Cannot be put into a defense zone. And Divine Backlash. When this is dealt combat damage, choose 1 enemy unit and deal the same amount of damage to it. Now, this is sick. This seems like probably a better deity payoff for the deity summoning stuff than the 4-drop is. Because this is like actually just a good boss monster. And this really gives me kind of like, I mean, aside from how it looks, but Amaterasu from Buddy Fight and how that was a very, do some hoops to set up, but once you've set up and gone into the big deity and now you're playing a pretty aggressive control game. So that's cool. Yo, what the fuck? We can use TDs and ODs from the fucking... Oh my god. I love it. Dude, X-Vader is like literally everything I wanted from a fucking card game faction. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. They gave me the kaiju from last set and I was like, dude, yo, kaiju, I'm so excited. And now they just... And it's by Dozen too? Oh my god. Oh my god. It's so pretty. Fuck, I need full arts of that. Holy shit. Alright, let's read what it actually does. Huh. Okay. Bicornagigadon. Bicornagigadon? Yeah, Bicornagigadon. X-Vader, level 3, 7 attack, 6 HP, 2 strength, 2 strike. Kaiju Earth Beast, TD or OD. Add up to 2 BIC units from your graveyard to this unit's charge. Awesome. Proliferation, standard action. Choose 1 BIC unit in this unit's charge and do DR equal to a level +1. If you do, special summon it. When this enters play, you may DR3 Earth. Oh, fuck yeah, dude. And I wanted to make an Earth deck, too. Or discard 1 Earth from your hand. If you do, heal 1. Oh my... Okay. You're... Can this come out tomorrow, please? Give it to me. I want it. I want it right now. Yeah, okay. So here's the other, like, 0-cost kind of counter spell I was talking about. And can we stop for a second and just... does your card game look like this? Because I don't think your card game looks like this. And this looks fucking good. So Renaissance, Atlas event, 0-cost, Owl Ascendant Historic. Can be played directly from your hand, and it's modal, like the other one. So redefinition, instant action. When your opponent uses an effect that will remove your cards from the game, negate that effect. If you do, draw 1 or drive 1. I mean, what's there to say? That's just a fucking solid effect. Innovation, instant action. You can use this when an allied unit is added to your hand from play or your damage zone. Heal 1. I mean, this is a thing where you can use this defensively when your opponent, like, bounces your stuff, but, I mean, if you bounce or call stuff from your damage zone, you're just like, okay, I'll heal 1. We'll just heal 1 more. Reconstruction of Classic. Standard action, DR2, choose 1 owl from your graveyard and add it to your hand. Nice. Sugar, Thunder Deity of Bosk. This guy looks fucking cool. Atlas, size 3, 5/5/2, Deity Thunder Light. CNT crest that burns through the sky. Special summon this. Discount, you may put 1 card from your hand on the bottom of your deck to instead pay a cost of 1 to play him. So he's got some reduction, nice. Polarity's Thunder, instant action, DR3. Choose one or more enemy units and distribute 5 damage among them. He's got Breakthrough, and at the end of your turn, you sack him. Now, I don't know how to feel about this card. I feel like on paper, there's like some things that make me feel like he won't be that good, but I'm gonna let him come out, play around with it, and see how it works. Hey, this is the card that got our other buddy to play. So our other buddy's a longtime Force of Will player like we are, and his favorite character is Shez. Like same art from Force of Will, right? So he said, "Hey, if they ever make a Shez card, that's when I'll play the game." Got ya, sucker. So Shezared of the Eternal Tale, Volnar, level 1, 4/2/1. She's also this Poetica and Mage. Fateful Encounter once per turn. When this is normal summoned, look at the top 3 cards of your deck. Choose a warrior from Volnar of level 2 or less, and special summon it on top of this card, and put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. Okay, so she summons on top of herself. I'm not 100% sure if that makes her a charge. Never ending story. When a unit with this card in its chart. Okay, well, I just had to read one more sentence. When a unit with this card in its charge is destroyed by your opponent, you may special summon this card to your attack zone. Cool. You won't get to do this again, but at least she's on the field, so you can pair her with something in this game that returns cards to your hand. But presumably, if you can find a way to loop her, that's maybe just some like free special summoning from your deck. It's pretty cool. Well, this is cool. Echo of Doom. It's got Ragnarok. Oh, yo. You know, if we're about to get Ragnarok art from Force of Will on a gate roller card, So level 1, Wonderverse event, Deathshade Dragon Dragon Lord. So timing standard action. Choose one enemy card in play and destroy it. I mean, 1 mana, pop any card is already pretty good. Then, if you have a Dragon Lord in play, look at your opponent's hand and discard 1 from a card. Ooh. Hey, I mean, I said I like Thoughtseize earlier, right? So, damn. That's pretty cool. So one thing we like to make fun of our one buddy for is how he really likes textless cards. And now they've made just a legendary, huge stat, textless 1-drop. I actually am not mad about this at all. Ooh. Jake, the Awakened Gate Ruler. Alright, this guy's had a couple of like small versions throughout the set, so now I guess in the story he's all grown up and main character. So Atlas unit, level 3, 5/5/2, Ascendant and a key person. So, oh, he's also a legend too. So CNT special summon himself. That's awesome. It's unaffected by opponent's effects. Your ruler gains breakthrough, and when this enters play, put all charges from all enemy cards on the bottom of the deck. Well, I definitely like this card. Giving your ruler breakthrough, the Clock Dragon had that too, and I really like that effect. Being a hate card for charges is very, very cool. I really like that. You know, because like charges are a side mechanic, so this is never going to be super aggressive. But this this kind of smells like Yu-Gi-Oh, and I don't know, I don't like it. We were already having a lot of ignoring effect damage, and that was weird. Then this is I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't want to see that come up too often, you know? Gold Linus, Grand Dragon Pentarch of Light. I can definitely see how the art in this game is starting to go the hyper Japanese route of, well, we don't know where this character is in the Gate Ruler lore, but I mean, I guess they're a big dragon floating in space somewhere. So Volnar, level 3, 7/7/3, Dragon, Dragon Lord, but also a space peep. So CNC to add it to your hand. Enhance Dragon or Dragon Lord. If it has a dragon in its charge, it gains Charge Shield. If it has a Dragon Lord, it gains Charge Shield and Breakthrough, and it's unaffected by your opponent's effects. Okay, well, I would have kind of liked these to be different, you know, because like having one just be objectively better than this, it's kind of like, well, then you never really want to do this, right? And of course, there's going to be situations where all you're going to get is this, so it makes sense to still give you the charge shield anyway. I don't like that. Like, of course, you know the argument is always, hey, well, you can attack into it, but I don't know. I just don't think this is good. Gasamar, Dragon Deity of Magic Stones. Just looks like a big solid dragon boss monster. Unit Volnar, level 3, 542. Earth Dragon, Dragonlord Fire. A discount of DR3 or put one card from your hand on the bottom of your deck to play it for 1. It's got Retaliate. Can't go in a defense zone. Demon Lord's Protection. It's unaffected by your opponent's effects. And combat damage of the stakes is reduced by 2. So it's a super protected big dragon that attacks for 2. Alright, we got an Oath. So these Oath cards are interesting. Oath to the King. So it's a Geese. Geese card is put underneath your ruler at the start of the game. So this is for Overlord. You start the game with 2 resources, and you ready 2 resources at the start of your turn, but you get an extra 10 level cap. Okay, I think the thing is with all these geese is that each time I read them, I'm like, I don't see the point immediately, so I'm just going to wait for these to come out before I give any more of a final judgment on them, because I feel like it's the type of thing that you can't really understand how well this is going to work until you get to deck building and start to think like, damn, I really need those 10 levels or whatever. We got Oath of the Jester. So for Trickster, when you've been dealt 2 or more combat damage, you can discard cards of level 4 or lower with CNT, but your life becomes 3. Okay. Well, my buddy is definitely going to love this because he really loves putting a bunch of the size 4s into his Genesis Summoning deck, and he puts his Genesis Summoning deck in Trickster. So, hey, 3 less life to also be able to use like your higher CNTs so that they don't get clogged in your hand. Seems like a fair option. Oath of Lone Faction. So, Apprentice, you could only choose 1 faction instead of 2, and you get 5 additional levels. Again, I'll reserve Genesis. Oath of Courage. For Knight, your CNT is decreased by half from 16 to 8, but you get 3 resources per turn. Again, off the top, no idea if that's good or not because CNTs are, pretty important. So cutting that in half for 1 extra mana turn, it's a fair argument. Ooh, this card is also pretty interesting. Psi, Super Artificial Intelligence. So Atlas Event, 0 cost, Tactics Technology, CNT to set it. You can choose one. Strategic Development, turn 1. Standard action for this turn. Increase your summon cap by 1. Could reduce the cost of the next unit you would summon by 1. That's awesome. That's just a really cool card. But it has more modes. So Tactical Sacrifice, instant action, send an allied military or zoo brigade to reduce the next damage dealt to you by 3, and Zombie Virus Research. Standard action, send 1 zombie card from your deck to the graveyard, or special summon 1 zombie of level 0 from your graveyard. Yeah, this is just like another card where they just stuck 3 awesome modes on it, so I can't wait to play with it. More dragon cost reduction. Oh, so we are just getting him. Okay. Space Dragon Ragnarok. Thank God it's in Wonderverse. Level 3. 773. And it's a kaiju. Oh my god, hell yeah. So Kaiju, Deathshade, Dragon, Dragonlord, CNT to heal 1. Dormant, this card cannot attack. Energy of Destruction. Standard action DR2. This card loses Dormant until the end of the turn. Okay, I'm less excited. I mean, I'm still gonna play it, but I'm less excited. Artar, Fire God of Brilliance. So level 3 Atlas unit, 562, Owl Warrior Light. You can discount of putting 2 Owl Warrior or Poetica into this card's charge to play 0 for it. Okay, so he's free. Occult Iguanif. You're not Kyoya. You can't say that. When this attacks, and at the end of this card's attack, so double trigger, you may put one of this card's charges to the bottom of the deck and choose 1 enemy unit. That unit loses all abilities and is dealt 5 damage. Solid removal. Light God's Protection, reduce damage dealt to you by 1. Now, this is a sick card. This is gonna be like a staple card for sure, right? Like plays itself for free, can remove huge bosses by himself, then also has defensive backup. Yeah, that's a good card. 8 feet tall Popo. So you imagine front size 3, 433, supernatural ascendant key person. discount, you can put one card from your hand at the bottom of your deck to instead pay a cost of 2 to play this. Charge Shield. When this enters play from your hand or drive zone, you may put one card you have in play into this card's charge. Okay, so it's like any card. So enemy units accept other copies of this card, so she doesn't affect enemy copies of herself. Interesting. Lose their abilities, except during your opponent's main phase. Your opponent cannot do Sentinels. Yeah, we have our first fucking prison card. Okay, I need to hide this from my one friend, because, yeah, he can't be allowed to play this. Closed Myth? Event of 2 for Volnar, Deathshade Dragon Demon Lord, CNT to set itself. Choose one, instant action, special summon one non-legendary dragon of a level 2 or lower from your deck. If you have 2 or more dragon cards in play, you can play this without paying its cost. Standard action, put the top 2 cards of your deck into your damage zone and special summon up to 2 Deathshade from your damage zone with total level of 2 or less. Standard action, if you have Volnar Demon Lord unit in play, choose up to 2 enemy units and destroy them. Yeah, this card's cracked. This card's great. I love this card. Moving on. Alright, so there we have it. That is booster set 5 until this point. I'm not 100% sure if that's the full set. You'll forgive me, but I'm not very good at doing internet research, so. But hell, even if it isn't, I feel like we did go through a pretty damn good number of cards that give you a sense that I'm pretty sure this is the best Gate Ruler set, right? Like, am I the only one? Other Gate Ruler players, please chime in, but everything I just saw on red was like super cool. Of course, I have those worries about unaffected by your opponent's card effects, but that was on like a couple of dudes. You know, there's a couple of dudes that you can just attack into and kill, so it'll probably be fine. But yeah, this is without a doubt the coolest Gate Ruler set so far, and I am like actually frothing at the mouth. There are so many cards here that I want to play with immediately. I definitely felt a lot of that with set 4, but not so much of like the earlier sets. So I really feel like Gate Ruler is starting to hit its stride.